we should be live right now. So what's
Right
up,
now,
everyone? Right now. This is Pedro,
Now?
this is Wes, and this is Marcus. We are collectively the artists for World Walkers, but we're also friends.
Yes.
Okay, I was waiting for someone to back me up.
I mean,
I'll earn it.
I'll earn it. So, a bit of background for those that don't know or don't remember. Live draws were really something that we kind of made our cut our teeth on when it came to starting the podcast. They were monthly. We'd get together. We would draw all kinds of crazy shenanigans. And what up, Kalobi? So we, by popular demand, we're bringing them back monthly. We're going to come together. And we are going to take your drawing requests, your drawing prompts, and the questions that you drop in chat and preemptively through Patreon to get this started. So let me pull up our list of questions, but feel free, we don't actually have a lot of questions, so feel free to throw your questions in here. Yeah, we're going to start with a little bit of we're going to give people some time to show up real quick, so we're just going to kind of draw and hang out. And...
They missed our intro. All right, do it again for the top. Okay, I still don't know how not to draw with a big bludgeoning brush.
Did you try adding the Chrome extension?
What program are we using?
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Is there a button to add Chrome extension? How's everyone doing out there tonight?
I'm doing okay. It's just that I'm two things. One, I never drew in the original live draws, so
Yeah,
I'm interested.
Monster.
I was like, I'll never draw with these guys. I'm way too nervous. So this is gonna be hard for me to moderate and draw. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe it'll bomb terribly and I'll just cry afterwards. They know I'm a fraud. But other than that,
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
alert. We already know.
No, but the other thing is that we're quarantined, as it were, and Willow is having a lot of fun playing with some of you in the Animal Crossing New Horizons deal. That has been fun for me to try to learn everything, and then also try to get her connected to people. And I don't play Animal Crossing. This is hard.
You don't play Animal Crossing? You're missing out.
I thought about it. I was thinking about doing it.
Where's my live stream? I want to see
Josh. Oh, you said it was a live stream?
When's the live stream of you playing Animal Crossing?
You know what's funny is I told Jess, I said that I've been really stressing about trying to think of something I could do. Are you changing colors on us? Is Marcus going fucking, I'm going all in?
Jesus, no.
Are you going rogue?
I had to switch. I was on a Safari link and it just kept on crashing. So I opened it up in Google Chrome because I'm drawing on an iPad.
Yeah. No, so
I could draw on an iPad.
Yeah. No, so I had told Jess I actually am thinking about playing it, but I can't because it's one island per Switch. And
yeah, you can't.
I dodged it.
Yeah, dodged
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah,
you get around this time.
Oh man. All right, so let's see who we got here. Kalobi says, what program are you using? Actually, we're using a website, and it's this. So aggie.io. So you type in that website, it'll get you your own little room, and everyone can draw together. Other than that, I'm just using OBS to capture everything, and that's it. Let's see. James, you started early. Nagito EV says this stream is full of nerds. That is correct.
Where? I'll beat him up.
And then James says, why are you using such an inferior Apple product? The Wacom Cintiq, I don't believe is an Apple product.
I think it was when I pointed out I was using an iPad.
Ah, okay. Are you doing Spike from Cowboy Bebop?
How dare you? Yes.
That's funny.
So hard.
The iPad's inferior? Inferior to what? I don't know of a better tablet myself. I'd be down to find out. And I'm not being like cocky. I'm for real. Like I know there's the Surface, but that's not real, is it? We don't ever.
Well, Surface 2, I used to use the Surface Pro 2, and it has the Wacom like drivers, and then they switched to Surface 3, and I can't speak for it, but they don't have the Wacom drivers. I think the problem is the Surface 2 is adequate, but or the Surface Pro is good, except Apple got there first in every one.
I tried using I don't remember which Surface it was, but I couldn't get anywhere with it. James, I actually don't know good art tablets. All right, so we're getting some people in. So let's jump in. I'm gonna clear my. I'm not worried about saving this piece of art.
I know it's beautiful. It says Wes. You can delete the rest though.
I'm making a new layer. Oh shoot! No, I'm not. I'm making a new layer. I'm gonna turn my other one off. So everyone should make a new layer.
Okay, nothing is on my layer, so I'm just gonna leave.
Oh, there you go, Marcus. Either clear yours or make a new layer.
I'm trying to select the layer 5.
Does not
delete.
Oh wait, is layer 5 yours?
Yeah, can you just delete that?
Yeah, no problem.
Who's in charge here?
Perf.
All right, cool. So when we're all ready, our first our first prompt is World Walkers crossing over with Animal Crossing.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
So yeah, wow. Marcus, is there anything else you need besides the screen?
Don't judge me.
I
just thought you were drawing a scythe.
All right. Let me give up on this pressure thing actually working.
How do I adjust the pressure thing on this, or is it like only if I'm using?
I don't know. I got a Chrome extension, so.
Yeah, I got the Chrome extension, but it's just oh gosh, it came live.
Okay, no, this works now. Yay!
Look at that. Okay. Animal Crossing. Oh, this is my chance.
This is your chance to break into a new market.
Screw it, I'm just going sketchy. I don't care.
Yeah. It's just relaxed.
What the heck?
Marcus, you call that a circle? Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Don't judge me.
It's too late. Done.
Right,
yeah, so who all is playing Animal Crossing? Not just here in the on the screen, but out there. Because like I said, like it's consumed the house. Like there's nothing I can do.
I'm sorry you lost your house.
I mean,
but if you talk to Tom Nook, he should get you one pretty decent price.
Yeah, you know what? Like it's at this point, I'm like, I don't know. That Nook guy might have a point.
There's no way his business economy actually survives anything. Like he gives you money and then he's like, all right, well, you owe me money. You're like, okay. But then he also will just pay you for everything. Like there's nothing he won't give you money for.
Yeah.
You like trip on a bush and he's like, here, take 2,000 Nook bucks. What do I care? I'm like, are you sure?
I just made up this new economy.
Yeah, just made this up. That's how money works, right?
Yeah.
Is that like a stereotype that's true about Americans, or like they'll sue everyone for anything?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna sue you for saying that.
I am drawing all right, so I'm drawing Tompkins Isabel. That's my goal.
I'm drawing Villager Harold.
Nice. I don't know anyone else besides Isabel and Tom Nook. and Tompkins isn't a fucking crook, so he's not some shady landlord.
I'm trying to draw a certain gunslinger who's got a sweet ponytail.
Let's see.
Oops.
Kalobi says, I'm an L-Star guy myself. James says, furry, not hashtag not my Rolanus. And James is playing right now, obviously. Evie says, Tom Nook is the economy. And, oh, yeah, Kalobi says it too. It's an American stereotype that we sue for anything. I remember that joke.
Again, I'm suing you for all of this defamation of character.
I remember that being a heavy stereotype back in like the 90s or whatever, but it wasn't true. It was like it's perpetuated by things like the lady that
the McDonald's one, right?
The McDonald's lady, yeah, and she actually got like severely burned, and the court case made it look like she was like a lunatic.
Well, the idea
everyone took that part. Yeah, everyone the media and everyone said like, "Wow, I don't know. These lawyers are saying she's a lunatic, crazy old lady." It's like, I mean,
it's just like I feel like that stereotype existed, and they're just like, "Look, this lady's suing McDonald's because she spilled coffee on her lap," and it's like, no, she spilled coffee on her lap and got like major 3rd-degree burns, and then originally was suing just so that she could get McDonald's to pay the bill for having scalding hot coffee. And they kept refusing.
Yeah.
Like all she wanted was
the money to take care of herself.
Pay my medical bills, please.
Exactly.
No, that's too much.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mabel Tristana. Which one's Mabel? The hedgehog?
Chris and Animal Crossing bodies. They're supposed to be easy, but it's a filthy lie.
Let's try this out real quick. Oh, Mabel's super cute. All right, I'm gonna take a shot at this.
I removed someone's lair from the layers. I apologize.
Gasp.
One of the best things about these Patreon live draws is I take all the layers afterwards and I post them on Patreon the next day, and it really helps people who didn't get to come to the live draw, Marcus. So I'm really excited for you just deconstructing my living.
First of all, I'm excited for you to see how terribly I'm doing.
I can see it right now.
It's oh god. So
Marcus, stop
these cute, adorable things.
Nobody enjoys the super talented artist that goes, "Oh my god, I just can't believe this."
I'm okay, all right. I'm super okay.
I feel like everyone enjoys that. Better. Where's my stick?
This is all I've got.
This is all I've got.
Let's see.
I want to give them abs.
Let's see. I mean, if we got one of our questions. So here's all right. How has the quarantine affected your ability to work, edit, record? Before homeschool and quarantine, what kind of was a typical work day like for each of us?
I vote to go second in that.
First off, great question. I mean, like, so week 1 of quarantine, we were on spring break. So it wasn't too bad because I had taken off. And this week, I started to go back to work. And next week, I will go back to work and do homeschooling stuff for my daughter. So work-wise, it hasn't changed much. I actually work from home Thursdays. But it definitely has put like a hamper, and like it's not as easy just to roll over and be like, hey, look, no, it's like this. Now you're like, hold on. Let me type this message and wait 45 minutes and see if you remember. But even then, it's just, I've still come in and like, it switched up our business a lot because we were a very face-to-face person business. So everything I came back and everything I was working on was like no longer a priority. And I was like, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
Well, I have done my Mabel Tristana. It's Mabel Tristana standing in front of a bunch of broken glass. This is the most. I should have done that instead of Isabel Tompkins. Can Harold hold a slingshot? Is what Columbia says.
Yes, that would have been a better.
Oh, I forgot. They don't have hands, do they?
No, they just kind of have these nubs.
Okay.
At least the villagers don't, which I like because then I don't have to draw a hand.
Oh man, my fan art career is about to take off. Wow.
Okay, Marcus. Easy there.
I'll get rid of it. All right.
Let me just hide in my corner for a second.
Yes. Hey, so Pedro, I thought of a really great way to make your drawing better. If I could just, all right, good. Perfect. Nailed it.
Here, let me fix it real quick.
I do appreciate when I rotate it.
There.
It doesn't mess up everyone.
I fixed it. I went ahead and did what you're trying to do.
Oh, how do you rotate? I see. It just puts dots everywhere.
Oh man. Marcus, has it changed your scene at all?
No, like fortunately enough on my end, I'm pretty lucky that I pretty much was given the opportunity to work remotely. Because my job, my team's called like a digital lab.
Yeah.
So the idea of like constantly working, remotely is a thing. However, it did put a lot of pressure for us to like succeed. So if anything changed, it's like just the expectations.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
It has ruined everything for me on a I'm not sick level. Like obviously people have it worse. It hasn't ruined everything. No, but it is that idea that like basically like I had all day to work and now nothing. I have no I wake up, I get ready for the day, I get Willow ready for the day, and you may ask yourselves like, but do you have to? It's like you're going actually to school. Two things. First, I want Willow to feel like she's still going to school. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I want her to still have that routine of waking up, getting ready. But second, the school has these things called flip grids, and they can post videos to each other every day. They're given a topic to lead with, and Willow has become obsessed with creating videos because she wants to be a YouTuber.
Adorable.
It's super cute, man, and her stuff's really funny. I think like today it was like, they asked her, what is your favorite thing to do now that you're at home? And she said, my favorite thing to do is to learn with my daddy. And I was like, oh, and she goes, or beat him up. And I was like, wait, what? And so she set up the video where I'm sitting there pretending like nothing's going on. And then she ran and jumped on me, just crashed into me as hard as she could. She says, my favorite thing to do is to beat up on my daddy. And she told me like the kind of look I had to have. Like she's just like little like videographer, man. It was awesome.
Quick question. Are you okay? Do you need anything?
To be honest, dude, it hurt. Like I'm at the end of my cycle. And it was like I just do not have the physical stamina to be, because we had to do multiple takes. So
God,
it was just like that one's no good, Daddy.
I gotta hit you with a steel chair.
Man, if she could lift that chair, I don't know what would happen. So that's been really rough. I don't have any time to work. I'm really struggling, to be honest, with trying to figure out how to. It's like, oh, you work from home. It must be nice for you. Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah. Like, and I just want to take this. Like, I want to reiterate this every time, especially with everything going on. If it wasn't for everyone here, if it wasn't for all the patrons out there, we just, I mean, real talk, we'd be fucked, guys. Like, one of us would have had to quit our jobs or something to figure out how to take care of Willow. So much of our life would have had to have changed immediately because of all this stuff. You guys know that I have cancer, that I'm immunocompromised. I get to stay away from all of that stuff because of you guys. So Thank you guys 1,000 times, because although this is changing my day to day, shut up, James. He's like, you have cancer.
Fucking ass.
Because
Wait, when did that happen?
right. Whoa, I would have heard about this. No, but because of everything that's going on, like my day to day changes, but our lives haven't. So thank you. But yeah, it has greatly changed that kind of day to day thing. So it's been a thing. Marcus, how do you feel? Are you still working on your drawing?
Almost done.
Okay. Yeah, and then after that we'll switch prompts.
Benjamin Manley.
Hell yeah. I think you cut his leg
Good
off.
enough.
All right. If you guys feel comfortable, we'll go ahead and switch.
Change places.
So I'm gonna make mine invisible, but then make a new layer.
Why is mine not closing? What the hell? Curse you.
And then let's see. I think at this point I have on my list the drawing prompt is Wes's choice. And I will be right back. I'm gonna go check on Willow. But Wesley, you make the call, and I'll jump in a second.
Oh God, is Pedro gone?
I'm just gonna take my headphones off right now.
Pedro, are you gone?
Goddamn. I'll be right back. Just yeah, I leave you guys to it.
All right.
I don't understand how I can't move these goddamn layers.
All right, is he gone? Great. Okay. Prompt is draw Pedro as your favorite world walker. Go.
God damn, fine. Hell yeah.
How's everyone doing? I'm in charge now. You guys having a great day?
This is called the World Walker West Show.
This is the World Walker West. Noise. It's a noise show.
And a noise. Okay, let's see. Well, at least I can draw Pedro's face because of that thing. Thank God. All right. I can't see any of the prompts. I don't know where. Oh, is it all in the Discord?
I think it was just I got to make it up. So that was the prompt.
Gotcha.
It was my choice. I understood it as it was my choice, so I made it up and I chose draw Pedro as your favorite world walker.
And it's restarting on me. There we go.
A gift.
Let's see.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Yes. All hell me. You're correct. 1-800-BUTT-STUFF. Welcome to 1-800-BUTT-STUFF.
Wes, if you have control, can you turn off my layer of the gunslinger?
I don't know if I do have control. Damn. I don't. It lives there now. Forever, Benjamin Manley lives with us.
Curses.
Guys, tell me about your favorite NPC, either in the World Walkers world or in the non-World Walkers world.
NPC, eh? Let's
yeah.
See. What game have I played recently? What the hell?
I really love Chase from World Walkers, the other ones, because the group hated him.
Did you guys end up... Oh, wait, I can't remember. Did you guys end up wrecking that guy?
No, I think we just told him to stay inside. We convinced him it was the most heroic thing he could do and that he shouldn't waste his power on something lesser.
It's like, know your place. But yeah, you'll do much better over here. Just know your place.
Yeah. Well, I think we sold it.
Oh god. There we go.
Oh yeah, Chase did end up in World Walker's Prime for a hot minute there. And I think Harold made up for everything the other one said to him. So I'm just going to pretend it's okay.
I think I'm going to do Pedro as... Oh, I forgot the bear's name.
Yes. Paddington.
Paddington. There we go.
I've done Pedro as Brummelstone here.
Did Pedro ever let you know what I first thought of Brummelstone?
No. What did you first think of Brummelstone? Everyone tell me what you first thought of Brummelstone. And then if I have the power, I will ban you all.
Jeez, I might get banned then. When I first heard the podcast, I got angry because I was like, God damn, another magic user. And I hated him like for the first like 3 episodes. And I just kept thinking like, man, he's gonna use like some magic missile. I don't know, probably some magic just to get out of there. And I was happy how squishy he was.
Oh, he was so squishy.
Oh yeah. But it got to the point where I was like, all right, he's getting there. Starting to enjoy this. He's getting badass. What sold me though was the romantic love story. I won't deny that. But then how badass the character became after, I was like, God damn. If anything happens to him, I swear to God, I will write Pedro a letter to ask him to team kill everyone. And then later on, it was a great journey in all honesty. And I did like the bromance as well.
Yes. Great. I'm glad. You know what? I love a good character everyone hates at the beginning and then people grow to love. So that makes me feel good as a player that you would start listening and be like, this guy is absolutely terrible and I hate him and I can't wait for him to die.
The thing was, your guy was a good guy. That's the difference. Most of the time, it's like usually a bad guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Was it just because he was a magic user?
Yeah, I have issues with magic users, like in any like sort of like video game story.
The real question is, was it because he was so bad at using magic that he won you back over?
Okay, I won't deny when you pulled out the hammer, I was like, yes, fucking do it, and I was happy.
Yeah. Oh, good.
You're good.
You're good. Don't worry. We nailed it.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh man. Okay. So what are you drawing me?
We're drawing you as our favorite World Walkers character.
Oh my god.
Here's Pedro as Brummelstone.
So I have to draw me as a World Walker?
Yeah. And then I was asking everyone about their favorite NPC. And then their favorite, or what they originally thought of Brummelstone, because Marcus shared it, what he originally thought of Brummelstone. Spoiler alert, Marcus hated me for 3 whole episodes, 3 hours of our lives together.
I know, he's hit me up a lot about it.
Just throwing you under the bus, like he was talking so much.
No, that's not true.
I love the idea. Yeah, I love the idea that he would send you this long, lengthy letter of like, why you should kick Brummelstone out of the game.
Still here.
Yes. Let's see here. What did other things people said? Oh, the Nomad. Ah, yes, the Nomad was a great character. Like when he showed up, I was just like, I both hate and love this moment.
I'm hoping that my decision to draw this is very weird.
I'm drawing Pedro as Paddington.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's way better. I drew me as hopscotch.
Aww.
It's just like, let that weirdness settle in. Like me as my wife's character.
Evie, can you tell me more about the random dude last night that had a cloak that I licked, that you licked? I didn't lick it. You licked it. Yes, people loved Brummelstone. That's all that matters.
I'm gonna go through and read some of the chat. Did you already read all these off and stuff?
I mean, not like out loud to the group.
Let's see. Josh is way too buff for a wizard. Kalobi says he loves Barmoscon as someone who plays wizards a lot. I have very different feelings about magic than Marcus. Yeah, I think. Well, I know Marcus, you have feelings about magic, but it's your personal verse. Like, you hate magic, but do you actually hate magic as a person or as a like? Can you want to go into that for a second?
Yeah. Basically, like, if I were to nerd out about it, D&D's everywhere, right? When you think about it, like, what's it called? Most entertainers are bards, right? You could joke around saying police are like corrupt paladins. You could joke about like doctors being alchemists, healers, stuff like that. So whenever I think of like magic or anything like that, I always think it's people who are very attuned to being book smart, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never that growing up. I was never book smart. I had to try really hard. So I like that's the affinity of why I hate magic, and it's the same thing like when you see it in like Harry Potter, right? They had to study in order to learn spells, and then they became extremely overpowered. There's the argument, right? You spend a lot of time studying and all that, and then it gives you the effort of being super overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you put that in like a fighter class or anything like that, sure, they're like, and I get the argument. They're powerful in the beginning, but essentially end game they're not really viable. But it's the amount of effort that's put in as well. It's just a bit of that, like a bit of both my life and just how I see it's always produced in like video games and anything like that.
Sure, yeah, I get you. I actually
nerds. I'm just kidding.
No, there's a character in the World Rocket universe. His name is Primus, and he was essentially like my first character. And it's funny you say that because his origin story is that he comes from a family of knights, right? And he thought that magic was the best way to blow people up because they were all like they were in this constant series of wars. And he's like, why don't we just learn this and blow them up? And they're like, well, there's no honor in it. There's no honor in it. And so he basically stole a bunch of spell books and went on the run, basically blowing up the other side of the other army. Like, he has no interest in the formulas and stuff. He just tried to figure out the best way to win the war. And that was kind of how he started his story. And then to this day, like, he's not like a nerdy sorcerer type. He's just extremely because he ended up like, once I realized that like I couldn't play a character and DM at the same time, like he just became an NPC. And so the whole story is that he became like this archmage on the Dark Island. And yeah, it's interesting that you gave that story because that's how he kind of came out, was a twist on that idea. Like, he wasn't scholarly. He's like, if we just figure out this thing, we could blow them up. Like,
I think that's pretty sweet. Is that close to what being a muscle wizard is? Because I'd love to play that if I ever.
I suppose so. Well, muscle wizard's like, I want to be a bro, but I want to be a bro that explodes. And he was more the idea of like, his whole idea was essentially to look, if I can figure out this mathematical formula, like, why would we not use the bomb? Kind of thing, you know?
Oh, he'd be like essentially making grenades and stuff.
Kind of, yeah. He was like, why don't we look? There's all these books here that we could break down and decode, and they're like, that's not our way. Like, we are a noble line of, you know. And he's like, I don't know, but like, so he made up a name. He shed his family's name and took on the name Primus, and just because it was like bullshit. Like, who cares? It doesn't mean anything. He just, at the time, he took that so that he could go out there and people would never know who he was. So, yeah.
I like that.
It was fun. We've got Kalobi saying on the World Walkie Talkies episode, Marcus was like, I like fantasy because I could actually use a sword on like sci-fi. Yeah. Whereas Kalobi says, I like fantasy because I can't cast spells. That's legit. Pedrington. Has anyone ever seen Pedro and Jess in the same room? Whether Wes will admit it, he has.
Nope. It could have been holograms.
Let's see. Yeah, on one World Talkers episode. That's right. Let's see. Evie talking about how he was a quest giver. The guy who he licked the cloak. He was like, so just got licked right away. That's the way the Salvation Army rolls. That's they named themselves, by the way. They named themselves the Salvation Army. They're led by Brian, who plays a quote unquote preacher named Joe L. Olstein. Olstein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and turn these layers off. Make a new one. And let's see what our next drawing prompt is. We got a few of these to go through. World walkers in a horror movie. However you want to interpret that.
Very well.
And the next question we had actually is, what do you all think your passive perception is?
What's like the max out number in D&D/Pathfinder? What's the max number?
The max number.
And like, what's the least?
Oh, technically, like in Pathfinder, if you could get to like a -4 or -6 and then no level, yeah. That's you.
No, like this is like going in video games. I usually never have like a high perception at all.
Yeah.
It's usually trash. But when I end up doing like my job prior to being a designer and stuff like that, I used to work security and I used to be a bouncer at one point. So I'd like, it's pretty decently high, but that's all from experience.
Oh, damn you. I think I was going to draw the same thing as you were, Wes. Are you doing Harold?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You can draw them too.
No. I'll draw something different then. Well, maybe I'll draw 2 of them.
I gotta pull up a reference quickly to see what I'm trying to draw.
I think mine's about average, depending. I occasionally get a lucky roll here and there.
I think if you're in D&D, D&D is kind of the. I'm gonna change that up. If we're in D&D, and the good perception is 15, I'd put myself at a 14, 15, if for no other reason than paranoia. So like when I go everywhere, I only put one AirPod in. Because I don't like the idea of closing off my ears, for instance. I don't like not being able to hear anything. And they're like, the new AirPods are noise canceling. And I was like, get that shit out of my face.
Yeah.
Like, just paranoid as hell about it.
No, it's just, it depends. Maybe I don't know where you grew up, but I did not grow up in a place where, oh, cool, I can't hear anyone coming.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah, that's just fucking stupid. No. No, thank you. So, yeah, no. I think I have decent. I think I have decently good. Because I need to. Let's see. If you use the good headphones instead, man, James is relentless. I even opened up to James and told him how like I updated my Mac and I lost all my games, and I was like, man, that's gonna really endear me to James. And he's like, ha, fucking noob.
Yep.
I updated the newest version of Mac, and they got rid of support for 32-bit systems. So like I lost a whole bunch of shit, and it really sucked. I lost all my favorite games.
It's never on Steam, right?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's garbage. Let's see. I do not have a 32-bit Mac, but all the games that I like Portal, Portal 2, Left 4 Dead, those games are 32-bit clients. And since they're not going to update anytime, I just don't have them. So.
I thought you had a gaming PC though.
I don't. I was thinking of raising money for one, but I never got around to it. I get like, I have like really weird like guilt about. It's like I already have a Patreon. It's not fair to ask for money. Oh man, yours is gonna look sweet, Marcus. I like all of ours. Oh, I see. So Harold is just scared. Is that what,
What are you
went
drawing?
For? I drew.
Yeah. What do you?
Oh, can you not see mine?
No, I can see. But
I was just drawing a Jason Voorhees style.
Ah.
But the other one I was gonna draw is this one.
I'm enjoying this a ridiculous amount because it is a challenge.
Ooh.
Drawing on this.
I see it.
At the same time, holy crap! I am not used to drawing characters like this, and I love it.
So if you have any questions, throw them in real quick. Combination. Let us give you money.
Oops. Oops.
There we go. There's my other Harold.
Oh. That was clearly a comedy.
Do not, fucking James, I'll hate you. I should have bought the hockey mask on Callie's Animal Crossing Island. I know. I was hoping. I was hoping Willow would buy it. I was like, Willow, buy it. Oh my god, that Erd will be so good. Make an athletics check. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Wes. So I think we asked the group. We've had a little bit more time in Pathfinder, so let's do an update on what do you think of the system. But you weren't there for that, Wes. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a good system. I think it just does not care for dex-based characters. It doesn't see, like, there's no bonus to attacks and stuff like that with the dex. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, oh, if I had known that going in, I would have maybe put some more backup in strength.
Mm-hmm.
But I think every system has like a shortness like that, where it's just like these types of players aren't going to play well. But it's also like, I'm not always the best at knowing how to properly put together some of that stuff. That's why I'm not very good at like Magic or strategy games.
Yeah.
It's like I can't think like that far ahead, and so sometimes I'm like, this should work, and then when it's like, no, you can't do any of that, and I'm like, oh, well, that's disheartening for me.
Yeah.
I will admit, sorry.
No, good.
When watching you play, Wes, when you get notoriously terrible rolls, you prosper so much all the time. I'm like, damn, you survive everything. If I'm being honest, I'm like, how are you? You're still alive.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever died, Wes.
I think I have, really? But not on any of the podcasts.
Yeah, I know.
I think I may be the only original World Walker who's had a player character death. So take that.
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't take sacrificial heroic deaths as like deaths, is all I'm saying.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah.
All good, Marcus.
Yeah, no. Neither. I was not counting that death either.
I'm implying if Crow ever ends up using his body as a meat shield, Pedro, that doesn't count as a death.
Okay.
There you go. I've perfected Harold Terrified.
I'm drawing the nightmares of how I perceive them to be, but not entering into your aria.
No, you're fine. Come on in. The best part is I can draw the same color, and it just makes it look like I'm a huge jerk. I'm Marcus.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Marcus, why are you doing this to Pedro's drawing?
Oh God, it wasn't his spot. I'm not saying. Let me just. We're just gonna move her a little.
I'm gonna go with my other character. My third one is Nightmare on Elm Street Tompkins.
Nice.
Let's see. What else do we got? Next question. Question for Pedro. Do you ever pad your sessions to make them last longer or cut things to make them shorter? Do you have a stopping point in mind when you start a game session? No. That's actually, it's funny. We're supposed to play bi-weekly. And because, for better or worse, like, okay, I could probably cut the episodes in half for a few weeks to get us at a point where I've got buffer. It would be tight, and I don't think the episodes would come out right. So I've never done it. I don't cut an episode until I think it's at the right appropriate moment. So when we play, we just play it straight. Like that's one of the what I think is one of the selling points, for better or worse, I guess. I don't know, maybe not. For our game is we play the game straight. Whatever we play, I try to turn into podcast episodes. So maybe, Marcus or Wes could speak to this. Maybe you feel like, I think you'd back me on this. I never change it, like to make it play as a podcast better than a game. Would you all agree with that?
Wait, you make a podcast?
Like he pays me, so like whatever he said. I'm just kidding.
Oh
I agree.
God. Thanks, guys. But yeah, I don't ever change it up to make sure that it plays better as a game than a podcast. So, yeah, live right now, man. What's up? Yeah, I don't ever. Oh, I bet we're public. Oh, well, cool, man. Whoever's here, enjoy. This is a live stream, a live draw of me, Marcus, and Wes arting it up and taking requests, questions, whatever. Yeah, so I never cut the episodes in a way that I wouldn't unless I will change it all for the podcast. I have no shame. I have night clone. Yeah, I don't know. I never change. I try to keep it legit. So no, I've never really padded or changed anything. Another. Do you guys ready to switch prompts?
Yeah, let me just put in the title.
All right. Resident Erdleby.
Oh, that's even better.
What do you think? Resident Elderly?
Elderly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to spell her name wrong, aren't I? ERTILB.
Just spell it how you want.
All right, close enough.
All right, let's go ahead and skip.
All right.
New layer. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, Marcus.
How dare you? I trusted you.
I trusted you.
You were the chosen one.
Oh my gosh. All right, let me mark off some of these. Knock that one off. Well, I guess my question is 9:48. How long do we have everyone here for?
I'm good.
Okay.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
the?
Oh, asking
Yeah,
us.
fine.
Okay, cool. Then the next one is we had a request to draw one.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Wes.
What did you do?
You put a barrier up.
Oh no, I was just drawing really big at that one point while you were talking, and I was just like, I was gonna see how long it took.
Pizza Daddick, yeah.
Pedro, I noticed.
I noticed. I just wanted it. Yeah, because you asked for a request, how about drawing one of the Gunslinger Masters?
Who asked that?
That is.
Who asked this?
Who asked that?
It's not like I have full
Josh from
descriptions on them.
World Walker's Heroes.
He's fired.
He's fired.
Come up with a different request, Josh.
Oh my gosh, you guys. So
I'm just kidding, Josh. Great question. Great request. Pedro is going to read off the list and explain what the Gunslinger Masters for the uninitiated.
Well, so that's the question. Do you want to draw from memory? Because the only one that I pulled Benjamin Manley up. So do we all want to do a Benjamin Manley version, or do you want to draw what you think Crosby looks like?
If we do Benjamin, I'm gonna make him buff as hell. I'm gonna make them all buff. I don't care. They're all buff.
All of them are buff.
My favorite Gunslinger Master is Bean Basket. He is a Yorkshire Terrier, not even awakened or anything. He just has a good night clone. That sounds badass. His best friend is Lily, who is in fact a Gunslinger Master as well, and also a baby.
Oh.
Well, that's true. Kolobi says Gideon's easy to draw. Just draw anyone.
Oh my god.
Hold on. I know. I'll draw Nina.
Oh,
Can someone give me a
Yes!
description? Or is it like just a...
Oh, that was easy. All right, it's up to you.
Jeez.
Oh my god. Hold on.
Wes, I'm moving
done.
into your area. Quick, hold on.
Thanks,
Let's
Finn.
add a little touch of color. Color. Oh, it's not a little blood. Because we know she didn't come out of that unscathed. Oh, yeah. It's a little blood. Sorry.
Get that blue out of here. I'm already doing that hand joke.
Oh man.
Guys, you can't all just have my joke. I need room here to make my other joke.
Oh my god.
Guys, I know this gunslinger. I don't know where you two are. Gosh,
All
really
right,
letting us down.
We gotta hurry up.
Fine, you all get a jacked Benjamin Manley now because it's the only other description I realized.
Yeah, I'll read it again if you want.
Read it again.
Emerging from the entrance of the Brother to Iron's headquarters is a man. He is 5'7" in height. His hair is pulled back into a small blonde ponytail. He has a tucked-in shirt, and in his left breast pocket is a pair of reading glasses. He has pressed slacks and walks with a heavy heart. In his arms, I skipped that part. It's a spoiler from another game. Beautiful blue cloak on his shoulder. He rescued Roberto's cat at that point. Yeah. Covered in matted fur, it looks well fed.
I'm gonna draw the real gunslinger, which is Enzo's cat.
If Benjamin Manley looks like he's in a JoJo pose, I apologize.
If he doesn't look in a JoJo pose, I need you to apologize.
Of course.
Let's see.
Got to make sure he's got that booty, right, boys and girls?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Let's see. Next question. Look. Where did it go? All right. From when you first started learning how to draw to now, how has improvements in art programs changed the way you make your art?
Well, on my end, it definitely helped me go faster of understanding the basics, and yeah, no, like in all honesty, whenever you see artists go extremely fast, like one, it's practice, obviously, but at the same time, like I think through training and formal training, you get a good understanding of like your basic shapes and stuff like that. So it definitely helps.
Basic
like
shapes.
Yeah.
It's true. Ever since I've gone, it just basically, I got triangle down, square. This is a circle.
Dang it, Pedro.
Well, now you can draw anything.
I got it. Boom.
I believe in you.
Let's see. Nightclone says, doppelgangers are weird to me in D&D. One of my players is playing one in the Curse of Strahd game I am running. Oh my god, that must... Okay, so like playing a doppelganger in a horror game is already frightening enough, but to have one in like a Ravenloft campaign where everyone is waiting for terror to strike, like how long can he survive before they just turn on him? Like, I built a whole horror world for Curse of Strahd, so their backstory is that a witch stole their face. Fuck. Oh, that's so good. That is awesome. I like that cat from out of nowhere.
That's Roberto's cat.
Oh.
I drew the most important part of Benjamin Manley. I don't have enough room for anything else. Here's his hand.
I'm trying to think.
I'm confused.
Oh,
Didn't Roberto used to have a tortoise or a turtle? What happened to that? Or did I miss an episode?
He did have one. I don't remember what happened to it.
Just like the cat, he probably forgot about it.
Jeez. I can respect that decision.
I don't remember anymore. Let's see. Anything else? What about Wes? How about for you? Like, what have all these advancements done for you?
Yeah, it's definitely made it easier to like make art that is like easily like resendable. You know, like when I grew up, it was, well, you can draw and then you can take it to a scanner, and then if you want to color it in, then you can color it in there. You know, and then as I got older, there was like, cool, now you can draw on these Wicoms, you know, these little tablets, but it's not looking at the screen, so you have to kind of develop the looking away and drawing and figuring that out.
Yeah.
And then from there, it became like, okay, now you can have this big kind of screen that you can draw on, which is like, I'm drawing on Cintiq now. And it's like, that's great. And then but now it's like, cool. You just want to take that drawing ability anywhere with you, and then it just fits. And now I can sit on the couch, or like the other day I did a comic. My daughter we had gone to see grandparents. This was a while ago when you could still go outside.
Oh, man, those are the days.
Yeah. I was making this joke to other people, and they were like, Wesley, you can still go outside. In fact, please go outside. We're very concerned about you. It's like, why? There's a giant fire death ball up there. It's not a good sign. Wesley, that's the sun. Oh. But yeah, but now I can do, like, I have the iPad Pro. I just got that, you know, like a month or two ago, like February. Marcus, that's so good.
It's okay.
It's so good. Here, you know what? I'm going to do the one thing that will help it.
Yeah, you're drawing his face. Please tell me you are. I don't have that on my screen right now.
I am.
Oh, look at that gorgeous beast. Ora.
Oh, God.
Perfect. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he looks like.
I'm not changing that face. We're keeping that face. It's called gorgeous.
But yes, yeah. So now I can take that alone. You know, it's like, it's nothing, right? Even my friends who have the 13-inch Wacom tablet stuff, you know, it's like you got to bring that and a laptop. But the iPad Pro is like a 3-pound device that fits in my backpack, and I can just bring it with me everywhere, and I can like, we took my daughter somewhere, and she had fallen asleep on the way back in the car, and I had my iPad, so I just sat in the front and let her take a little nap, like when we had gotten home. So.
James, why is Pedro drawing the angry explosive man from Atlantis? I am drawing a gunslinger master. What is it? Night Clone says this is make me want to draw, which is funny because I hate drawing. I'm biased, but I feel like you should always try to mess around drawing. Like, I don't know. Every time I draw, I find out, I don't know how it is for any of you, but like when I get a break from drawing and I come back, I'm usually better than when I left. Is that true for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's something about like, what is it? There's something about like, you have to give your body time to process things.
Yep.
Also, if you're like really bad at drawing, it doesn't really matter. It's still like the act of trying to get those shapes down and like learn that visual language. There's, it's going to make you a better communicator, even if you're never drawing. But if you are able to like just understand spatial references, it's going to be easier. Like at work to be like, oh, this goes over here, that goes over there, kind of stuff, depending on what your job is, obviously. But to me, there's no downside in drawing. And the best part about drawing badly is that it's a place where you can fail quietly and by yourself, which I think is why I took in drawing. And so like if you fail at it, you just crumple up that sheet of paper and you throw it away and nobody knows at all. Leave that layer, unless you're on like a LiveDraw where you're like, oh gosh, now they can see I don't really know how to draw hands that well. It's just like, meh.
Yeah, I've never met someone who's like, hands, no, those are easy. Even if they end up drawing them well, I've never seen someone who's like, oh yeah, hands, baby.
I kind of like drawing hands, but just I like going like, full ham with like, these aren't how hands actually work. Yeah. That's fun. But like still trying to get the representation.
I do have that struggle where I there's some things that I know I could draw better, and I'm just nope, never gonna. Kolobi, yeah, that's who I'm drawing. But I haven't looked at his description for a long time, so I'm kind of making some of it up. What else do we got? Oh, James had a question. But I think James is trying to ring us up. James, question for Marcus: if you had the chance to make a character for the World Walkers podcast, what would you make? Wait, so for those that don't know, Marcus is guest starring on World Walkers. That episode will be out at the latest Monday morning, but it should be up Sunday night. So if you're all patrons, I think. So, hey, Irk, what's up? Irk, the Night Clone is dead. I murdered him. I'm Irk the Turtle once more. I'm my true self. God damn, were you Night? Did I not know that you were Night Clone the whole time? I'm a bad person. I'm sorry, man. So that episode will be up on the Patreon. Sunday night. I feel so dumb, dude. Sorry.
Damn, Pedro, what the hell?
What?
I like that grizzled frickin' look.
Yeah, this is Colbin Flinthammer. This is the 6th gunslinger.
I'm going to point this out to both you and Wes.
Okay.
I am envious of how you guys do beards and the way you color them, because every time I try to do beards, it's why I've never done like a fan art of like
fix that real quick.
Brummelstone. I can't get the beard down. It just looks like a cloud on a face.
That's it.
No, but like my cloud is shit.
Let me show you how to draw Brummelstone here. I'm going to go ahead and start a new little layer up here. Everyone,
there you go.
At home, feel free to play along. How to draw Brummelstone. Okay, first you're going to make a big nose. Bam. Nailed it in 1.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to follow along, actually.
Yeah. 2, you want to kind of make this, it's like candy corn. You essentially are drawing candy corn. You see how that candy corn shape there? You probably should start with the candy corn. Okay. You draw the big nose. Are you guys, is everyone watching? Is everyone paying attention?
I am. I'm going to do it in my style, yes.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, let me know when you're ready for the next art lesson step.
Go on.
All right. And then once you have the big nose down, and then you draw the mustache. And it's just whoosh, just that kind of waviness. Yes, Pedro, great. Yeah, just however you draw a mustache. And then I didn't leave myself enough room at the top. Can I move my layer around a little bit here? Yeah, I'm going to bring him down a little bit. The next two details are the most important. First, it's the fluff on the top for the hair.
Yeah.
And then it's the look of either disappointment. You just think of like when you fail your dad, that look he gives you. And that's kind of what you want to just give promos. That's the eyebrow you want to make. You want to make it. And you can only really see one eye anytime. And it's been a while, so maybe I'm drawing him wrong. And then you draw your ear, which is just in between the nose, and that you got plenty of room. Everyone's doing great. And then you just throw in the beard there. It's going to go up a little bit past. That's for that side. See? And then down, and then you just make it kind of as big as you have room to for the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was trying to work on it, I was like,
not too much.
I was like, my God, there is nothing here but beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I messed up the eyes. I think it's you draw just the I haven't drawn them in a while, and then you draw the one eye. Yeah, that's it. You just draw the spot there,
and then big. It is big.
And I flatten the top off. I kind of make it like I start with a triangle, but I give him a marshmallow top.
Yeah. He's definitely like he started maybe more marshmallowy, and then as days have gone by, he's just had his head. He's fallen a lot from high places. And then my favorite little accoutrement is the little hairs that are in between that let you know that like
I couldn't figure out what I was missing before, and then I got that, and I was like, now am I wrong, or does he have this too? He sometimes has like
oils?
A bump, I think, and sometimes he doesn't.
I will sometimes do the little round shapes, or sometimes I'll do the Band-Aid on his nose, or like
that's right. He's usually injured.
He's bruised in some way, if not emotionally, then physically. And guys, that's how you make a good promo stone. I put too many Band-Aids on there.
Oh, that beard though.
Yeah.
And then like when you color it, you like, oh God, I just can't do it.
Same for West Screen. No color.
I've told Pedro this, like when it comes to my color choices.
Well, here's my secret. I am red-green color deficient. I also flatten out his nose a little bit, I feel like. Because I feel like that has also gotten hit a lot. And sometimes I'll take chunks out of his ears if I remember. Like one ear is like definitely has been eaten by a goblin. He's never talked about it, but it's definitely like he ran afoul of something.
Yeah, I always try to draw like fun or happy Rumble Stones, and you're always like, Jesus Christ, this day.
Yeah. No, that's Rumblestone's normal look, which is what makes him so funny to be like who he is. But he's just normally like, because he plays so well against Roberto, who is nothing but joy.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of mess with this. The more you get that like pop out to the side.
Yep.
He gets that like it's like a.
Oh, that's what I'm missing. Yeah, it's that right above.
Yeah. It's like George Costanza-esque. There's like a level of something about like that hair there that like, what are you holding on to, my man? Just shave it all. Just let it go. Exactly.
Oh, and then that like that crease that looks like a unibrow.
Yeah, the furrow line over his head because he's just had his brow crinkled for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny because like I watch this, like when I do this, he's like, really? If I do this, he's like,
yeah.
It's funny because of how pronounced his eyebrows are. There's almost nothing you can do to change his face with that, even though it's like an important aspect of his face. It's like it adds what you need, and it does nothing to affect his expression. Like I could, I'm like, what, dude? Calm down. It does nothing. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and so like, what's great about Brummelstone too is that when he emotes like almost purely in the eyebrows and this facial mustache. So if you want to change his mood, you have to bump up the eyebrows, and then you have to like shrink or modify. So now he's like, ooh. Like here he is like seeing something he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because you just take away from the beard.
Yeah.
And here, then you can kind of like, oh, now he's seen something he's very happy about. It's probably an ancient tome somewhere.
Yeah, it's that front of the mustache that seems to really matter.
Yeah. And Pizza Dad has similar qualities where like those are the two like things that can emote for him.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming for a drawing Brummelstone class.
Yeah, let's see. Kalobi says the reason I forgot Colbin's name is Crosby sounds so damn dwarfy in his name. All I can think of when I think dwarf gunslinger, even though he's a halfling. Irk says he's talking about Pasmos. He's such a huge fan of Pasmos. It's great. Bramelstan, my favorite gnome artificer.
I'm making Brummelstone buff. Oh.
Irk is the difference in these drawing styles is giving me dwarvy vibes. I posted my BS art in Discord, James says.
Did you do it? Oh my gosh. Guys, I love this. From here on out, it's just pick a character and let's draw.
Yeah, we could do that instead. Irk says, seeing something he shouldn't have, also known as literally everything Pedro threw you guys up against. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's jump to a new thing.
I'm just saying, if we have to draw any female characters, they're gonna be buff as shit too. I really suck at the female form.
Let's see. Let's take that one off. So one question we had, I don't know if you guys are up for it before we go on, is the Shields of Cosgrove. Are you guys up for trying to draw that?
Yeah.
Like from memory.
Give me a description and then
Sure.
I'll...
The walls begin to crash around you as the grinding of metal and steam grow louder and louder in front of you. As the wall finally gives way, a bright light takes your vision momentarily. When you finally find yourself, you discover what was powerful enough to break down the caves you traveled in. Towering over you are two mechanical contraptions of terrifying proportions. Each one stands over 12 feet tall, covered in metal plates assembled like Vernon's armor. Steam billows from their backs, but they seem to be powered by something else as well, though you haven't had time to figure that out. Vaguely humanoid in shape, their every step shakes the floor of the caves. Their massive fists seem large enough to engulf you, and a dome of dark emerald-colored glass rests atop the creature. On its chest, a round containment unit, though you're not sure what it's holding. Hovering above those mechanical suits of armor, and that's, I guess, the rest, sorry. But
I don't know, man. That sounds like a Gundam.
The Gundams are on to us, dear boy. I think that was a quote from season 2.
All right, it's been a while since I drew a mech.
Yeah, I don't. This is one of my weak points. It's like mechanics.
Who made these things?
Well, I mean, I did.
Who did this to us?
We're all trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
I'm like, I'm just gonna go off like the mech Gundams that I used to draw, I guess. Like shit. It had an emerald in its chest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see how this works.
I feel like the part I'm skipping over, it's just the large hands.
My problem is that they're nowhere near this smooth, but I don't know how else to draw them. Like, I can see them in my head. Oh, shoot. But
is there a way to like change the scale of this, like a transform or?
I don't know myself.
That's all good.
Is it because you're worried you're already in my spot and you want to take up more?
I want to shrink it down.
I'm joking. I don't care.
This actually seems, yeah, like, can I make my picture bigger?
So let me think. While we're hanging out here, I can say a little about this. So, I don't know. This might fuel too much speculation, but I'll do it anyway since you're all hanging out with us. This should look a lot more steampunky, my version. Yeah, more like Wes's. I can't do it. So I'll point some stuff out. Right here, this giant globe right here, this middle part is where they capture and throw people. So whenever you hear in the vault armor stuff, like the Shields of Cosgrove, they would pick somebody up and then seal them away. Oh, what's up, Doodle? Megan.
Who dat?
This section right here is where they would capture people. So I think they captured Ertleby, were they? Or was it Claiborne? Claiborne carved out? I don't remember. But like this right here, this whole area that I'm coloring, this is what it would open up, and then they would throw them inside there and seal them up. The part up here, this dome, is where the dwarves drive. So maybe we put like a little dwarf in here. Little Brummelstone style dwarf.
Yeah, there you go. Remember the big nose?
The wiggle, like he's Dr. Wily. Mm-hmm. Waggle, waggle, waggle. But yeah, this is where the dwarves pilot. So if you listen in season 5, when they're shattering the glass, whenever they got a critical hit, they got to attack this part up here where the dwarves were. And that was a mechanic I came up with so that there was a problem in season 2 where when like the World Walkers, justifiably so, wanted to find ways to get inside the armor. But D&D doesn't naturally have a way to do that. And I always felt bad about that. So when we got to season 5 and I brought the Shields of Cosgrove in, I just decided to kind of do this way where like every time they got a critical hit, because critical hits are a much bigger part of Pathfinder, they did enough damage, shatter the globe, and they were able to start using like mind control and stuff like that inside the armors. So
okay.
yeah, this is how they work. There's actually a steam engine back here, but the way so the background of this stuff is that God, I'd have to look at my timeline. I actually have a World Walkers timeline. Let me see if I can pull it up. So 605, 600. Yeah. So 600 years ago, from COG current day, Nathan played in a group. They were gathering together. The gnomes had figured out the gunpowder formulas, and they were given a week to figure out what would happen if they were to pursue this. They gave it to their greatest minds. When the gnomes convened again, the horror stories they put together of how quickly it would transform the world of COG, they scattered the gunpowder formula. They scattered all their mechanisms and their formulas and their designs for gunpowder and everything gunpowder adjacent, scattered about. And there was a storyline they were playing 600 years ago in game that was like they had to gather the formulas together, and they lost the formula to a gnome that was traveling in old school style vault armor like armor. And that was the first time I had ever used the vault armor. And they had like, one of them was a rune thane from this old gaming system that was like putting runes on the glass and trying to break the glass open and stuff like that. But that was like the first time that the armor ever appeared in game. And then I think we don't see it again in game. We don't see it again until the podcast. So fun times.
Are you ever gonna get to the point where like you come up with a way for like other players to play them, like the mechs?
So The answer kind of lies in Pathfinder, man. We were looking through and I was designing a bunch of feats. And if you play a dwarf in Pathfinder with the new campaign guide coming out, they get specialty crafting. And one of them could lead you down this path where you could design them. So I'm going to sketch them out. I'm going to write up what it takes to make them. And then if someone crafts it, sure. But the problem is... the problem would be that if you were not part of the Brotherhood, you would become the biggest target on COG by one of the biggest factions. Let's see. So there, yeah, I read the Doodle part where Irk saying hi to Doodle. I don't think any of the old crew ever got put in a vault armor. I know I tried really hard, but they managed to stay out of it. Irk, I love how 90% of the dwarves I have seen just now look like dumpy little potatoes. That's their new design concept.
That's what dwarves are.
Yeah. James says, I want to play a mech game so bad now.
Oh my
and
God.
Irk says, oh, that's right. You guys play Pathfinder now because y'all's heretics. True. Just dirty heretic. The only, we have a little bit of D&D floating around, but Kalobi says, wait, was the discovery of the formula 600 years ago or the gathering? Both. Like the gnomes crafted this and then said, okay, this is pretty crazy. Let's take a week and we'll convene again and see what all this means. When they came back, I was like, holy shit. Because if it's the first, Tompkins is younger than I thought. James, Pedro, how quickly can I kill my hero's character? I can work on that with you, man. And then we got Doodles and how y'all doing tonight? I'm doing pretty good. I don't know, Wes. Marcus hates my stuff. He keeps drawing on it.
I don't need to.
know.
Look,
He's
I
just
stopped.
like-
I literally stopped.
Here's a giant circle he put on me because he thought I needed that.
I'm
He was
sorry.
worried about my circle
gift.
game.
You got none of those basic shapes. I'm doing good tonight.
Yeah, dude.
How are you doing, Doodle? How do you do, Doodle? Doodle. Bam, nailed it in one.
And then
Again, if everyone can just keep it to either non-gender specific or males, I can't do females. For your next request. Or else you get super.
you're the
buff
problem with this industry, Marcus.
I'm sorry, I don't have that skill yet.
Here, I drew Harold inside of mine for the one time he got thrown into it.
Oh man.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Marcus just
sweet.
gave the Merc some cufflinks. Oh man. Let's see what we got next. I'm gonna go through. Yeah, if you have questions, throw them in. I think we actually got through all of our Patreon questions. So, yeah, let's make a new layer. Boop. Pop that up.
Did it.
Then...
I'm gonna give myself a guideline to stay out of Pedro's way.
No, who cares? It's just Pedro.
So sick.
What are you drawing? Are you drawing a line?
Guys, look, I'll draw us all guidelines. There you go.
Wow.
I did not know you were going to give me such a generous portion. But I mean,
yeah, this is yours. This is Marcus's down here.
Wow. Ghost Mario is the only Mario I care about.
Mamma mia.
You gave Mark, you found a way to still take the biggest.
That's the best part, is that you didn't take the biggest there.
You son of a bitch. I'm just going to make a new layer. That's too hard. All right. So the new prompt is...
Here, I'm going to trash this later.
New prompt is... Marcus's choice.
What?
Marcus's choice.
Marcus.
It's going to be draw female.
Oh my god.
No, the year is 2020.
Okay.
The year
I
of
got you.
the year is 2020, Marcus. It's the year of destructive hashtags. It's the year of inclusiveness and diversity. Marcus, what do you want to draw?
If we could draw a white guy, that'd be great.
Like a beefy white guy would be great.
Draw your favorite, or this is a toss-up. It's either your favorite or least favorite female character in your style.
Wait, my favorite, my least favorite female character?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Like it, whatever World Walkers, it could be on your least.
Oh, it has to be
and
someone in the World Walkers universe. It can't be my mom. Okay.
It could be. Goddamn. NPC.
I just miss her so much.
Oh.
Doodle says, "Sure, it's not Sophie's choice."
I have one.
All right. My favorite female character.
Favorite or least favorite?
Oh my god, that's tough.
Oh god, I forgot the one I was making.
My mom.
Rude.
Oh, it's rude for me to suggest you might like my mom.
Oh,
wow.
That's mine now.
My favorite character is Kermit.
It's all green. This face is green now.
Ooh, draw them, but don't say whether or not you like them or hate them. That's a great That's a yes and if I ever heard one, Megan.
Yes and. Oh my gosh.
Remember, mine's gonna be super buff.
This is tough.
I know.
Okay, I'm biased, but I'm gonna go with it. Let me have a second.
This is unfair because I don't know where to start here.
That just turned it out awful.
Perfect.
God damn it.
I'm helping. It needs to have this and it'd be like I'm a lady.
I'll add it.
Oh no. No, yeah, no, it won't let me go back far enough. I apologize. Okay.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
Let's see what I can draw.
All right. Name it as soon as you get it.
Roberto. Hopefully it's Contessa.
You got it too quickly.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Let's see. You know what? I actually have a lot of female characters I really like.
He's just saying that he could probably hate them all. Remember, it's like or.
Oh yeah, sorry, I could hate him.
I'll draw none of those.
I'm trying to make sure I don't pick someone that you guys haven't seen yet, because I know someone else I want to put.
Oops. I will not make them look like the anime style chesticles. Which have no like laws of physics whatsoever.
I'm really happy about what this is drawing.
Contessa.
What is that? It's not a line.
I like Wes can draw it just straight up. I need to do a little bit of a like sketchiness to excuse myself. Meanwhile, Marcus is like he's like in 101 trying to work himself up to 202.
Why?
It's awesome. I can't do it. Like I can't do that.
Oh, but you will.
But oh God! All right. Have you listened to much of the new season? It's about consent, Marcus.
Oh my God! I'm just saying, you're gonna practice and you're gonna learn. You gonna learn. I'll be more appropriate. I apologize. There are probably children out there listening, watching. I apologize.
Somewhere there are children out there.
Think of the children. I'm also totally going based on memory. I have no idea how this person looks like.
What's my really quick rendition? Did not do the person justice. No, it didn't work. Let's check the chat real quick. Pedro isn't drawing suspicious. Marcus's favorite is Claiborne, I'm thinking. Don't know if that's who he'll draw. James shouted Nina. Pedro's is 10.
Oh, this was my chance to draw another Nina drawing. Here, I'll draw another one. One of these characters I love.
I like the part where she cries.
Jeez.
We got no spoilers, Pedro. God. Oh, hey, Kelly. Pedro isn't drawing suspicious. That's what I'm saying. Apparently, Marcus has to draw the entire human skeleton before putting flesh on it.
Wait, who said that? Was that James?
Who knows? I don't want to call anyone out. It was Eric. Callie, I feel that, Marcus. All of Marcus's characters have the most menacing poses.
Yeah, no, you can tell like who I feel like Marcus is like dynamic pose. I'm like, oh yeah, you want a close up shot? Got it, nailed it.
Doodle says that Megan says she likes the pose. Children are just a myth invented by big school to push their liberal agenda. And then Doodles just keeps Megan keeps saying, "Oh my God, Wes, no, Wes."
Oh God.
There's one more I want to do, but like hold on a second.
Keep going in.
Perfect.
Your way, Pedro. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
I wonder if I can pull this one off.
Do it.
I think you can.
Wait. Megan, you don't remember who this character is? Oh, you're on COG. And one of our teams slipped away.
So, being fairly new to D&D still, I have a question. Has it ever been successful where the group has Why? Like, have you ever had like, what's it called? Like, there not be a bad omen or a bad game where like when the team splits up, Pedro?
Okay, so I guess the question is this: in gaming or in D&D?
D&D. Like in any of your games or the games you've played, like, or is it just a universal rule that I always see, like, never? Because like I see them in memes, I see them on Twitter. It's like never split the group, and I'm like, oh, why? Tell me why.
Let's see. Who's the character you're drawing? Is what Megan says. Callie says spoop. And Megan says, I'm bad with names and memory. I think you were talking about that. And then Callie says, is it Dark Ertleby? That's what I just drew. Yeah, just real fast. I have no idea who Marcus is drawing, but she looks badass. Those fucking spikes. So don't split the party is unfortunately kind of true in a mechanical sense, because D&D especially, depending on, there's different versions like that, but a D20 game, especially like D&D, I should say, really focuses on the idea of action economy and the idea that if you have more turns than your enemy, you will most likely win. The reason that spells like Hold Person are so effective is because they essentially immediately remove all of your hit points temporarily for the fight. Because there's no difference between 1 hit point and 100 hit points. The only difference is actions and no actions. So if there are 5 of you and 5 of them, who knows where it's going to go. If there are 2 of them and 5 of you, there's no telling. You guys are going to win. 5 versus 2. They got to really have some things to equalize the battlefield. It just doesn't work any other way. So yeah, don't split the party, because D&D relies off of action economy, and you will not win. Especially because most GMs balance parties based on the party size. It's like, I've got 5 people. The math that I use to build this encounter says that I can bring in this many enemies. Some GMs don't pay attention to the encounter builder. GMs like myself use them for specific encounters, but also my world has areas that are just like, that's just how they are. Like, if you go into a place like Carmack, the City of Dead, there's no encounter building. Like, it's fucking a metropolis of zombies and worse.
Oh, okay.
Be careful. Like,
right. So what idiot group would go to there?
Right. So the idea being that, like, there are, in a mechanical sense, there are static places across the World Walkers universe, and then there are what you might consider dynamic places.
Oh, okay.
So, like, as we're playing, typically things are kept in check. Your levels and stuff are accounted for. But then there's other places they're just fucking dangerous. Like, if you go to a place where there's a dragon, the dragon's not going to shrink down because you're like, we could take him. We could take anything our level. Oh, who's going to sleep? Oh, see you later, Megan. Thanks. It's not going to work. Whereas, yeah, so, typically your GM has balanced everything for you.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
So when you split the party, you're like saying, like, hey, you built this encounter for 5 people, right? Cool. 3 of us are going to head the other way. Jeez. There are games that actually are not troubled by that. So it works out. Like when we played Cortex, which is a superhero game in the version that we played, it was all about splitting up if you had to. Like, the game is dynamic and crazy and interesting in its combat, and it doesn't matter. So,
okay.
Awesome. What's a bagpipe? Oh my gosh. yeah, so I drew Darkleby, and I tried drawing Claiborne from memory. Wes, do you want to talk about yours?
Yeah, I drew Roberto's Lost Love Contessa.
Who the Heroes group just heard play at a local tavern, so that was fun.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And then Marcus, do you want to talk about your character?
I drew Mortal Kombat Vasa.
Because you wanted to buff her out.
I think she was the only damage dealer during that game, like most games, I realized, until like near the end. Until someone brought out that hammer. That's all I care about. Heavy freaking weapons.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, start putting in your questions, because we're about ready to wrap up in a little bit. We've got about 15 minutes or so. So I'm gonna clear the board. I'm gonna go to the next drawing prompt. Now, I cannot draw this. But you guys can take a crack at it. You want? I'll still try, obviously. Do you all want to give a shot at the Gambler or the Jump Rail, or do you want to save it for the next month? 'Cause that's a pretty big project.
Like drawing the ship.
Yeah, drawing an airship or the electromagnetic jump rail that races through Cog.
Oh, I got it. Hold on. Done.
So fast.
This is that, right? And then hit look right above there.
Oh God,
the
no.
Gambler. I forget if they have big air balloons at the top, but they should.
Yeah, the Gambler. I cannot draw the Gambler very well at all. But like, if it was something like here would be the steam places.
Why are you like
this? I don't know.
Here, let me erase mine because I feel bad. It's taking up.
I know space. That there. I think the Gambler has 3 air balloons.
I swear mine's not gonna look anything like the ships from One Piece.
I do know that the side of the ship has
Jolly Roger.
I think it's like this. 3 playing cards, and the beard. Has like a golden beard.
I really don't like drawing in brown. This looks so wrong.
Already yours was way better. Let's see. Pedro mentions Cortex game other than D&D. My ears, the pain. Only Dungeons and Dragons is good. In Monster of the Week and Call of Cthulhu Plus realize I haven't played any. Oh, that's funny. Sweet, Marcus, can you draw non-anime things? Kalobi says. Shots fired.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Marcus leaves.
Marcus, we've seen the lost contact with you.
Oh, sorry. Am I gone?
No, Wes is messing with you.
Oh.
You drew Brummelstone.
Now
I'll leave the ship then. Oh my god. Oh, shit.
I swear to God, if that was James.
Let's see.
Abe Lincoln.
What are you drawing?
Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my god. I don't know why we're drawing them, but I'm here for it.
I don't know. Oh. I will draw the greatest Green Lantern ever.
I thought maybe when you were talking about drawing the Gambler, you meant like Kenny Rogers.
Oh, I should have drawn that. R.I.P., man.
Yeah.
So wait, how many balloons are in the Jolly Roger?
I don't know.
The Gambler, sorry.
Oh, okay, Jesus. I believe it's 3.
3? All right.
I want a top hat shaped airship. Yes. Abe Lincoln's my favorite airship.
I swear to God, if it's you, James, who's asking me about.
So Cogian airships are ballooned. I don't know how I feel about that. Some of them are. The Gambler is. The way I generally think about it is that it really depends on the cost effectiveness. Like for those you're all patrons, I'm going to assume. In The Raven and the Crow, it's revealed that the Gambler once was the airship of Captain, the Captain, sorry, I'm blanking out all of a sudden. How do I do it? Wibbles, Captain Wibbles. So, like, that ship is 60 years old, and so it totally rocks 3 balloons. Whereas, in theory, ships have advanced a little bit more.
She doesn't look like much.
Yeah, pretty much is that idea.
And? No, that's it. That's it.
Wait, is this the one that went 12 parsecs? Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah, sure. That's the one, man. That's weird.
It's not actually how it works, but whatever. Sure.
Word gets around when you pay for it.
Yeah.
Mine looks like potato as opposed to balloons.
They kind of look like little gerbils. Like you get a little nose.
Oh my god, yes.
But it's actually one of the reasons why I call them what I do. Oh my god.
I'm on board. I'm on board for this. I want giant floating fluff dogs to be the real reason the Gambler flies. Yes. Little ears.
Thank you, Wes. Yes.
Oh my god.
Look at him. He's thick.
So the straight up real we're all cool here answer is that I used to call it the steampunk world of COG, and then I realized a couple things. One of them is it didn't carry the steampunk attitude that you saw sometimes, and it didn't have like a lot of Victorian vibes. And I also I just don't know as much as I probably should about steam-powered machinery. And so basically the airships look however I kind of want them to look.
You want it to look like a jet plane? It's going to look like a jet plane.
Eric says what they don't know is that their planet is slowly being enveloped in a force field in the moon that will prevent all interplanetary travel. I mean, that's the goal. I feel like I've been pretty explicit about that. If there's one thing these games have been about,
it's
the prevention of interplanetary travel.
I mean, I actually had to have a side talk with Pedro and be like, Pedro, this can't be the main thing for every character.
Tompkins can't be an Ewok. I had to rewrite him.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I would buy Tompkins as an Ewok. Oh man, I missed my chance to go back to Rolanus and play an Ewok.
You've actually, I think you missed how Rolanus works now, right?
Well, it's the path.
Yeah, Road to the Path. Well, all right. Let's go ahead and do one more drawing. So if anyone has a request, throw it in real quick. Otherwise, I'm going to pull from the list.
Pull from the list.
No request, Wes just said.
There's no way these people have time to make requests in time.
Oh, well, yeah, this is on the list, actually. James wants a favorite summoner.
Guys, okay, so welcome to Drawing Brummelstone Part 2.
Yep. Jeez.
You're gonna take your candy corn squished head. Just make sure you really flat it out up there. And this time we're gonna kind of draw the noise. I mean, I'm just gonna start drawing Brummelstone.
Yeah.
We're really at summoners. Oh, I feel like I should draw. What was his name? Kilrum? He didn't get enough time. I'm gonna draw that armor again.
I'm gonna draw my favorite summoner that I couldn't protect.
Oh.
It's gonna be adorable.
That doesn't look anything like Brummelstone.
I wasn't playing at that time. I would have definitely put my body on the line for it.
So what was it like playing a summoner? Like, is it weird because like there was no D&D basis for it, or it didn't really matter? Did you overall? I guess did you like the class?
I don't know.
Because it's been updated a bit, so it's okay if you're like, no.
God, I hated everything about it. No, I liked the concept and everything, and I think it was one of those ones where I was like, oops, I'm for it. Planning and execution, I shouldn't play this class. Because it's much more of like you put the summon where you need them. Like it's like a more tactical play.
Yeah.
And I think I never like quite played the tactical play smart enough.
I see how it is. You won't let me go all the way back.
Just finish it up real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, obviously. So, like, mine is actually my favorite summoner. Technically, is the summoner I used to play in Final Fantasy XI, and he was a little kind of a halfling back over there as a Taru named Ismo. That's who I made, and I miss him a lot. And they had really really fun explosive summoners over there. I don't know. They did summoners really really well. Let's see. Yep. So Josh says, everyone be nice to Tompkins. I agree. James says Wes gets a pass. Marcus and Pedro. Wow. All right. Cool. Eric, I refuse to make requests. I only have the one thing in my brain when thinking about World Walkers. Pedro doesn't need to hear me say Pasmos for the billionth time. No, it's all good. Eric, who is this fat baby that Marcus is drawing?
First of all, they're
James
halfling,
says,
not a
Pedro,
baby.
I trusted you. Oh. Actually,
that was your first mistake.
I do really like. I'll leave it, but I'll draw another one. Sorry, I got all quiet all of a sudden. I'm usually pretty good at keeping the conversation rolling. I just need to do this for James so he doesn't beat me up after school.
Oh, he'll still beat you up.
Well, this is true. Corona kick.
Don't worry, I'll go to his island and I will plant weeds. And it'll be very inconvenient.
Can you actually fight in Animal Crossing? No, right?
No.
Willow absolutely believes you can. Willow gets her axe or shovel out, and she just fucking beats the shit out of anyone that walks by her.
I think I would probably be more inclined to play Animal Crossing if it did have that feature. Especially because it involves being loaned money, right? And after you have to farm and make the money back.
But you're given a no interest loan.
I remember you saying this, yeah.
And the guy gives you any time to pay it. He's like, you just can't get a bigger house till you pay off the loan. So if you're
God damn you, Wesley, that's so fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Let's see.
You're welcome.
Callie Pedro finally stopped talking. Oh my god. And Callie says, Willow and I definitely sparred. It was vicious. Callie sat outside of a shop and just waited. And then as soon as Willow came out, she was just like, bash, bash, bash.
Did I say you could go on my property?
This makes me want to do the Further Adventures of Brummelstone again, Wes. I wish we could figure out how to do that.
Kill them.
Kalobi, a YouTuber I watch, created a competitive Animal Crossing game where you have to hit each other with nets in an arena. Yes. Yes. And then Irk says, I have a request. Marcus and Wes, I request that you tie Pedro to a chair like an Clockwork Orange so that we can force him to be a player. Oh, God, no. I had like a 2-week span recently where I was like, man, do I want to do this? It's like, no. I don't know. Sometimes I think about it.
Do you want to be tied to a chair?
I mean, do you have a chair?
I ain't kink shaming, but
yeah.
No.
I just thought, like, finally, this is like ever since our relationship started.
That's why I got in the game.
This is the only reason I wanted to.
Yeah.
Do you play a game? No. There'll be chairs. Keep talking.
Tell me more. Will it be tied down? Well, not explicitly.
Oh man, no. I've been thinking about it every now and then. I thought about making it a Patreon goal, but I think I asked everyone, and everyone's like, I don't want to run a game. And I was like, cool. Maybe Shannon would actually. I should take that back.
Make Shannon do it. Make Shannon do it.
But we're starting a new game. We're doing the session 0 on Monday, and let me think. Yeah. And so once that kicks over, we'll have the Patreon goal kick up, and then Callie will fulfill her life's desires of playing 2 characters at once in a side adventure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And that's going to be amazing. Maybe if I get around to making a My Hero game, Pedro, I'll see if you want to play one. I mean, I might tip my toes in for that one. I might tip my toes in. I was rewatching My Hero, actually. I will 1000% run a game for you, Pedro, if you ever decide you want to be a player. That's legit. That's legit. I'm thinking every now and then I think about it. Well, you know, it's funny because I thought I might break recently, and then when the virus hit, I have like blah. You be too intimidated to run a game for me? Why? You don't know if I'm a good player or not. I could be shit. Be like, I want to go to wherever you don't want me to go. Well, I think that's it for the art. We got any questions? Hit us up with it. I'm a good deal. Oh, thanks. Hit us up with any questions you got, any last minute questions. But I think, I guess, you know,
lightning round, go.
Marcus is drawing something wild as shit. Lightning round for the
Marcus. What's your favorite color? Yeah,
teal.
What's your favorite snack?
Pork rinds.
Favorite movie?
Bittersweet Life.
Favorite album or band? Just name band.
Anything by Childish Gambino.
Ah, very nice. Pedro.
Quiet, Callie. What's up?
Speed round.
Okay,
you ready?
Let's go.
Favorite villain.
Favorite villain.
Shit is yes. That's the correct. It's an acceptable answer. Favorite holiday.
Favorite holiday is Halloween.
Okay. Favorite horror movie.
Favorite horror movie is Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Yes. Worst system you've ever played in.
Worst system. It's a toss up between the Marvel Gem system, which is just god awful, and looking. Oh, people are gonna beat me up for this. Looking at the non-Monster of the Week systems in particular. Not that they're the worst, but they're the most unappealing to me. Masks.
All right, both of you. Here's the other questions. Favorite low-level D&D enemy. Minor bully.
Sorry?
Marcus, favorite low-level enemy.
Gelatinous cube?
Good answer.
Rust monsters.
Oh, rust monsters are so good. I used to love rust monsters and cockatrice when I would play them.
Yeah.
As a DM. Those are my favorite to pull out. I love bullywogs.
Oh yeah, I do too. I loved using those. Yeah, I
They're
like
the
rest
best.
monsters because they immediately enforce a strategy. Like goblins, beat them up. Kobolds, beat them up. Anything else, beat them up. But like something like a rust monster is just like, okay, so what's the plan? Oh fuck. Like,
Yeah. Rust monsters are great. I like cockatrices for that same reason, because it's just like, well, you just run in there and beat them up. They can't do anything if they hit you. And it's just like, oh yeah, a few of their bites turn you to stone. You're like, do we have archers?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, like with rust monsters, for instance, if they eat your metal, then like anyone who can, like a barbarian or up, can like run and jump and grapple them and make hitting them easier. Um, it requires the long range to step up all of a sudden, so those are super fun. You can take like you can create strategies like you can run in and wrap them in a cloak, and then that kind of negates their shit. Like there's all kinds of strategies you can come up with right away to battle them, and it kind of puts players in the hot seat. Like, okay, can you think of a way to beat this thing up? And it's fun because for the GM, it's fun because a lot of times the answer is no.
Yeah,
there's something about
like,
Rust.
At some point, like the first time a player encounters a rust monster is always nice, like after they've gotten some sort of to me, the rust monster was made because someone had given someone else an overpowered sword. And it's just like, oh, go ahead and hit it with it. Yeah, it starts to rust.
I have used them for that reason. I have actually used them for that reason, because like there's just so much power in this group. And I don't like the idea of taking stuff away from players, just going like, hey, look, I need that shit back. I know that you can do that. I don't like doing it. It creates a dangerous precedent. So, yeah. But rust monsters, oh my god, rust monsters everywhere. There's like rust monsters, and then there was a prismatic wall at the end. And it just like ripped so much of their shit away.
All right, favorite Golden Girl.
Golden Girl, Blanche.
Damn it.
I'm sorry, the answer we're looking for is Coco.
Coco?
That's a deep Golden Girls cut. So originally there was I think it was like a sassy younger gay man that lived with them.
Really?
Yes, and I believe he was the like he had all like the punching lines. So in the early episodes, he was like their cook or something. They like hired to live in with them, or would come over and do that. And then
Betty White, by the way, was my favorite. I didn't get there in time.
Is it because she's still alive?
No, I don't care about that shit.
When she dies, she dies.
I mean, I don't want her to die, obviously, but I don't get on the train of like, we have to protect her. I mean, sure, because she's cool, but I don't. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's fun to all love together, like boy bands and stuff back in the day.
Another question is, what is the worst die to use?
The worst die to use?
Yes.
The D100 was the worst back in the day because we always tried to find a way to do it. Wes, all right, speed round for you. What is your favorite movie?
Oh gosh, it used to be High Fidelity. I'll probably still stick with that. I really like High Fidelity, but I've also grown really attached to the movie's name I can't think of right now, so I guess High Fidelity it is.
What's your role-playing hot take?
It's a great reason to get together with friends, but sometimes there's but sometimes there's too much math. Like, I think my real hot take is the system doesn't matter. It's a bunch of baloney. It's more just like who the group is together.
Yeah. I guess my next question then would be, if you could pick one setting, like it can be a World Walker's World if you want, but it doesn't have to be. Like, what's the story after this story with the Dreamwalkers that you just want to do? If you were designing your personal campaign everyone had to play in.
if I was designing my personal campaign,
like requesting, not you don't have to run.
Yeah. No, you're fine. You know what? I would still love to run, if not a one shot, a very small one that is based on the concept of 310 to Omaha, where a bunch of
weren't we gonna do that? Oh, yes. Dude, I forgot about that.
So you're out in the wilds of Cog, and these town folk who are in dire need of money for an undisclosed reason at this point in time, but maybe it's disclosed later, or it's because I haven't thought about it, has captured someone with a very high bounty. But the problem is this is also a leader of the gang, so they have to get it to the jump rail by the time the jump rail that comes once a day or once a week or whatever out to town. And so then you build your group of low-level adventurers who are essentially going to have to rustle them to the path to the jump rail, and they've been promised money by the town. Essentially, I think maybe it's just like, if you get them out of here, everyone else will leave us alone, kind of thing.
What were we going to do that for?
I think we were going to do a one-shot where you were a player or something.
That's right. It was going to be a goal, right? A Patreon goal?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
That's awesome. I forgot about that. All right, here's the lightning round question for all of you. We're going to need some Patreon goals. So if you have one shot idea, what do you want to see for goals? Hit us up on that. It's been amazing. I had a lot of fun. I won't lie. There was not lately, but when we first started thinking about doing this, I was like, man, I can't draw next to these two guys. I was right. I'm glad that we confirmed that. No, I'm joking.
Wrong.
No.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
It was really fun to do this with everybody. We're going to do it again next month. I should be all three of us. Maybe Jess has been thinking about doing music. So that could be really fun if she's, if they're up for it, if they feel good. Yeah. So we're going to go. Wes and Marcus, don't leave right away after we close, because I want to save all this work.
It's too late. I've deleted everything.
Oh my God, I'm so sad. World Walkers maps. Ooh. God, Wes, can you draw maps? Or Marcus, can you draw maps?
I don't draw maps well.
Okay. Marcus?
I mean, yeah.
Never mind, guys. Fuck it. No.
Yeah, and it's gonna take the whole, it's gonna take the full stream, if anything.
No, not on stream.
In general. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Join us next time, and we'll have another new artist who can draw maps.
All right, we will see you all later. Thanks for joining us. Leave any ideas you have in Discord or on Patreon. But yeah, we will see you all later. Thanks again. Bye. Yep. Okay.
Goodbye.
Right on time.
Goodbye.